Welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Nouri Alamin with the headlines. Probe report on killings of journalist couple Sagar Rooney will be submitted soon to the court, said Rapid Action Battalion. Search committee scrutinizing names for CEC and 4 others commissioners, political parties and individuals submitted profiles. Education Minister Dr. Deepu Moni in meeting with SAST students hints at reopening schools soon. Family members and journalist community have passed another year of hopelessness as investigators failed to unearth the mystery of journalist couple Sagar Rooney murder case after the 10 years of the brutal incident. Dhaka Metropolitan Magistrate Courts have so far been deferred dates of the submitting the probe report in the case for the 85 times as the investigator failed to submit the probe report. The victim's family members termed the ongoing investigation eyewash, while the journalist leaders termed it a continuation of the culture of impunity. Rooney's brother said they are frustrated as the investigation and trial of many sensational murder cases have been completing, but there is no progress in this regard. Sagar Sarwar, the then news editor of Masranga TV, and his wife Mehrun Noni, senior reporter of ATN Bangla, were murdered at their rented apartment at Pushim Raja Bazar in the capital in the presence of their son Mahir Sarwar Meg on February 11, 2012. The Awami League has proposed 10 names for the positions of the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners. The ruling party's Information and Research Secretary Selim Mahmood submitted their recommendations today to the Cabinet Division. Selim said a sealed envelope containing the list made by the party chief Sheikh Hasina and the president members has been handed over to the officials. In the first meeting of the search panel, the Cabinet Division asked the political parties to send 10 names each by the email or directly. According to the new law, the committee will propose 10 nominees to the president on a list with 2 candidates for the 5 positions, including that the Chief Election Commissioner. The president will then from the 13 Election Commission picking from the list. The committee meeting of the Education Minister Dr. Deepu Moni and Deputy Minister Mohibul Hassan Chowdhury Nofel, along with the representatives of students protesters of Shahjalal University of Science and Technology SAST, are ongoing till the afternoon. The resignation of the Vice Chancellor and resumption of the class and examinations are going to be among the topics to be discussed with the Education Minister along with some other issues as well. Meanwhile, Dr. Deepu Moni said that all educational institutions in the country will be reopened soon as the coronavirus pandemic situation is improving day by day. She made the remarks while addressing an exchange meeting with the district and Metropolitan Awami League leaders at the Sylhet Circuit House Auditorium. Australia has decided to pump in $10.2 million to increase the engagement on the regional economic challenges and the tap new opportunities in the digital sector in Bangladesh. Australian Foreign Ministry said in a press release on Friday, a further $4.3 million will support relationships across the LNG supply chain between Australia and India and Bangladesh. A total number of $36.5 million will be provided over the 5 years to improve the regional cooperation on the maritime shipping, disaster, the resilience and information sharing. Together, these measures will support opportunities for the trade, investment and connectivity in the Northeast Indian Ocean, including Bangladesh as well. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back, and you are watching Bangla City SATV News. Russia began its military drills in Belarus as planned. Footage released by the Russian Defense Ministry showed tanks and missile launchers being used in the drills and military jets in the air at the unidentified location in response to Ukraine that launched its own war games on Thursday. Dalia Nilufar has the report.
Russia is expected to have 30,000 troops in the country. Su-35 fighter jets and S-400 air defense systems and nuclear-capable Iskander missiles. On the flip side, Ukraine launched its own war games on Thursday. Ukraine's defense minister said the drills will include Javelin anti-tank missiles recently provided to Kiev by the US. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden, speaking to NBC News on Thursday, issued a warning to any Americans who remain in Ukraine to leave the country. Biden added that there is no scenario where he would send troops to rescue Americans fleeing the country, as it would spark a world war. The UK government now has the power to impose tough new sanctions against Russia after legislation was placed in Parliament on Thursday. The UK can now impose sanctions on Russian business and individuals in a wide range of economic and strategically significant sectors. Dalia Nilufar, SATV News Desk.
The top diplomats of the United States, Australia, Japan and India opened talks in Melbourne today on deepening their Quad alliance, hoping to blunt China's expanding power across the Asia-Pacific region. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison kicked off the day by day, highlighting the group's importance in building cooperation among the democracies, while making a thinly veiled allusion his country's troubled relationships with Beijing. Without mentioning China by name, Morrison said it was a great comfort that the three fellow Quad members it also understand the coercion and the pressure that Australia has been placed under. A student has moved to India's Supreme Court challenging the direction of the Karnataka State High Court that asks students not to wear any religious clothes on campuses of educational institutions, which can instigate the people till the matter is resolved. The appeal in the Apex Court contended that the High Court has sought to curtail the fundamental right of Muslim female students by not allowing them to wear the hijab. The player has sought a stay in the direction of the High Court, which is hearing the hijab issue as well as the proceeding ongoing before the three-judge bench in the Bengaluru. At least 20 people, including a 4-year-old girl, died and another 30 were injured when a bus crashed off a road into a ravine in northern Peru. Reports said the bus rolled down 100-meter slope in the remote northern Liverpool region on Wednesday. News of the crash took hours to filter out due to the remoteness of the region. The blues and the bus was traveling from the Tambamba to the Tuzilio. However, there are frequent traffic accidents in Peru due to the poor roads, high speed, lack of signal, and scant of the enforcement of the rules by the authorities. Footage released by the Libyan Prime Minister's office showed the Prime Minister escaped an assassination attempt in the early hours on Thursday. However, a government source revealed he escaped the unharmed despite a number of the shots being fired. The attackers fled the scene and an investigation is underway. The assassination attempt comes as the country's stern-based. The parliament appointed a new Prime Minister and called for the interim incumbent to step down. Australia listed koalas along the much of east coast of the endangered after the native marsupial habitat were hit by the prolonged drought, bushfires, and developers cutting down the trees. Scientists and academics have been warning on Friday that the iconic Australian mammal cloud become extinct unless the government immediately intervened for the protect the another habitat. In this issue, the Australian Environment Minister also urged to work together in order to protect these species. According to the reports, Australia has lost almost 40% of its koalas of estimated bushfires or injuries. Switzerland is set to vote on Sunday to become the first country in the world to ban medical testing on animals. The vote comes as the animal rights group gathered enough support to push for the referendum in the country, which hosts a huge pharmaceutical sector. In compliance with the government statistics, more than 550,000 animals died in the lab test in 2020 in Switzerland. This includes 400,000 mice, nearly 4,600 dogs, 1,500 cats, and 1,600 horses. Drug companies warn that if such a law does pass, it could lead to the end to the new drug development. Liverpool has won the return match of Salah beating Leicester City 2-0 at home. Leicester City made the first chance of the match at the Anfield. James Morrison made a great shot from the box of the 8th minute. However, Alisson Becker saved Liverpool. After that, the Red could not make use of the opportunities. However, they didn't have the wait long for the first goal. Jota goal from the Trent's corner in the 34th minute. Liverpool went ahead 1-0. In the 6th minute of the match, Diogo Jota scored the second goal of the team and himself from corner, which resulted the All Reds with a 2-0 victory. French Gender Equality Minister threw her support on Thursday behind the Muslim women footballers who are seeking to overturn a ban on players wearing headscarf on the pitch. Rules set by the French Football Federation currently prevent players taking part in the competitive matches from the wearing religious symbol such as Muslim head savers and the Jewish kippah on the skull cap. A women's collective known as Les Hijabiases launched the legal challenge under rules in November, claiming they were discriminatory and infringed their right to practice their religion. However, French laws on the secularism guarantee religious freedom to all citizens. Before ending, we go through Bangla City SATV News headlines again. Probe report on killings of journalist couple Sagar Rooney will be submitted soon to the court, said Rapid Action Battalion. Search committee is scrutinizing names for the CEC and another 4 other commissioners, political parties and individuals submitting profiles. Education Minister Dr. Deepu Moni in meeting with SAST students hints at reopening schools soon. You are up to date with the Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.